You're recording. I'm going to turn my little spotlight on here. All right, here we go. So if you guys could do me a favor, just want to make sure before we get rocking and rolling here and I jump into it, just to confirm that you can see my screen. You should see where it says increase your sales by 300%, and you should be able to hear me okay. If you cannot, please let me know, but if you do, certainly give me a thumbs up so I know. Okay, thanks, Patrick. I appreciate that. So anyways, what I'm going to cover. So first of all, thank you guys for carving out time on a Friday. Happy Friday to you to learn more about a CRM system. So with Lead Squeezers, we are a marketing agency. We provide marketing content, email content, social media, videos, you name it, anything to help you squeeze more business from your leads, from your prospects and your customers. Basically, our role here at Lead Squeezers is to keep you, your face, your logo, your name, your contact, keep you in front of your leads, your prospects and customers. Because think about this, if you're not in front of them on a regular basis, if they don't remember you, another agent is, all right? So think about that for a moment. So that's why everything we do here is to keep you in front. Now, a couple things I want to share with you before we get started and jump into this. Take a look at this title, increase your sales by 300% with, well, I got a typo there, with the Lead Squeezer CRM system. So where does that come from? Well, if you were to Google sales statistics, right, and how to increase sales, a number that will come up on a regular basis is increase your sales by 300%. Well, how do you do that? Well, the way to do that is you want to become more efficient. See, there's a lot of people will talk about sales tactics, sales techniques, right? But what oftentimes is overlooked is some of the organization, some of the focus, increasing your productivity so that you can have more windshield time or actually more client facing time, right? Meeting with the client, more sales time, less on the prospecting, less on the follow-up. But what happens if you don't have a system that allows you to be productive, that allows you to be efficient, you're just out there trying to do everything. And you know what? As a sales agent, it doesn't matter if you're life insurance, real estate, financial advisor, you're a solopreneur, right? You're a licensed professional solopreneur, and you are the chief cook and you are the bottle washer, right? You and the server, you do it all. And so when you look at that, you need to, one of the most valuable assets you have is your time, because there are certain things only you can do, right? Like meeting with the client, that's only something that you can do. Writing up a policy, that's only something that you can do. But some of these other things, there are systems out there that you can either outsource or you can engage some type of a system to help you increase your productivity. So that's the benefits of a CRM system. There's a ton of CRM systems out there, okay? An absolute, I mean, there's a ton of them. One of my favorites for a long time that I've used, and you guys that know me, is Pipedrive. I've used Pipedrive forever. There's a ton of them. There's Salesforce. That's one of the biggest out there. So there's a lot of CRM systems out there. But the reason agents don't engage in a CRM system is because it takes time to do the initial setup, right? Some folks are intimidated by the setup. How do I get my contacts in? How do I organize and clean up my contacts? How do I map all the fields to get them into the right place? What features are there? And so there's a lot with the setup. Then there's the learning curve of how to use the system. And the more features there are, typically the steeper the learning curve. Now, Pipedrive, I had Pipedrive and we had all these other integrations, you know, Phone Burner, Kixie, I mean, you name it, all these other third-party integrations that you have to pay for and integrate, and then you've got to learn how to use that. So when we put together the Lead Squeezer CRM, we wanted something that was simple, easy, fully integrated. There's no other subscriptions that you need outside of this. We kind of bundle, you know, everything from Aweber, Mailchimp, all of those, any of the phone systems like a one-click dial or a Kixie, any of that stuff, it's already bundled in here, okay? We wanted to have a tool that would allow you to be as productive as possible without having to go learn 5, 10, 15 different integration tools and programs. So when you come back here and you look at this title, increase your sales by 300%, we have designed it And when you use it consistently, you will be more efficient and you will increase your sales. Okay. So let's jump into a few things here. One of the reasons that I love a CRM system is literally salespeople. Doesn't matter if you're life insurance, real estate, financial advisor, doesn't really matter. You're leaving money on the table if you're not using a CRM system. You're leaving money on the table because you're not as effective as you can be in communicating consistently or regularly with your clients. That right there is going to generate more referral business for you. You're going to have less stuff fall through the cracks. Okay. And I'm going to keep an eye on my chat box here as well. So I've got two screens going. So if you see me bouncing around, that's why I've got two screens. So I just talked about this, why agents don't use it, but let me tell you why you should use it, why follow-up is important. And again, I didn't create these statistics. You can find this on Google. 48% of salespeople never even make a single follow-up attempt. 60% of customers say no 4 times before saying yes. 35 to 50% of sales go to the vendor that first responds. If you ain't first, you're last, right? Talladega Nights, if you've seen that. If you ain't first, you're last. Salespeople who contacted prospects within an hour of receiving a query were 60 times more likely to get an appointment compared to those who waited 24 hours or longer. Think about that. So how do you do that? Well, if you have systems in place that will allow you to reach out to people and make you more efficient, you can do that. With our system, you certainly can. But check this out, consumer buying behavior statistics. 25% of your sales leads are ready to buy when they inquire. 20% of sales are made on the first contact. 50% of people who request info won't make a buying decision for 3 to 4 months. Well, Mike, I just got a fresh lead in and I met with them and they wanted to think about it. And you might be the best salesperson in the world. You might be really good at convincing people. And I can tell you that even though you might be really good at convincing people, as soon as you leave that home, 30 days later, 60 days later, if it's not important to them, right? And they haven't really had the time to consider the value, to get to know you, to get to trust you and like you and all those good things, then it's easy for them to cancel that policy. And then what happens? You get a charge back, right? So when you understand the process here in human behavior and consumer buying behavior, and you can use a system in your efforts to help you build the know, like, and trust factor, to help you manage these clients and be ready right there. So when that 3 to 4 months, when they are ready to make a buying decision, because whatever is going on in their life, they're absolutely ready, then you're going to capitalize on it. But if you are not ready, you're going to miss out on that opportunity. It's the reason that aged leads are valuable. I love aged leads because most salespeople, we know they don't follow up consistently. And so therefore, when another agent buys aged leads, starts calling on aged leads, they are hitting people at the right time. It's like, right? And you may have some leads that you've given to one of your agents. It's like, hey man, I talked to that guy, 3 or 4 times. He wasn't ready. He wasn't going to make a buying decision for 3 to 4 months or 3 to 6 months. So you get the point there. 20 to 35% of sales are made between the second and fourth contact. 50 to 70 are made between the 5th and 10th. Now, with all this data that I'm sharing here with you, this is not specific to life insurance. This is general consumer buying behavior statistics across many different industries, okay? But I always like to ask, people, and you are a consumer, although you're an agent and a salesperson, do you buy every time you inquire about something? If you want information, do you buy right then and there? You don't, right? Because you're a consumer. You don't. So you're going to do your research. You're going to work with the account exec or salesperson, whoever, get to know them. You want to make sure it's somebody you like, because everybody likes to do business with somebody they know, somebody they like, and somebody they trust. So the reason I share this with you, and before I jump into the CRM and show you some stuff there, this is super important. This is why lead squeezers exist. And this is how we can help you squeeze more business from your prospects, your leads, your customers, and how you're able to increase your sales. 100%, 200%, 300%, whatever it may be. Any increase is better than what you're doing now, right? And just having a system and following this, understanding this will help you do that. So benefits of a CRM, and then I'm going to jump into the details. So why is the CRM so important? And it doesn't matter here, I have Lead Squeezers, right? But there's a ton of CRM systems out there, but I'm going to share with you why Lead Squeezers is the best. It helps you increase your sales productivity. When you have all your clients, all your prospects in one system that you have easy access to at your fingertips, right then and there, you're not having to hunt things down. It's right then and there. And you can send a quick message. You can easily follow up, or you can create automated campaigns, whether it's an email, whether it's a text, whether it's a ringless voicemail or a video email campaign, whatever it may be, using all these different communication tools to stay in touch with your client. Some people love email. Some people like text, right? I personally, I'm not as big a fan of text. I text, but I hate it when I get on a group text and it's like, your phone's blowing up, right? But I prefer email where I can have a chain. That's my preference. Everybody's different. You may like text. So by having these tools available to you, and you can use multiple touch points, multiple communication types to reach your client and build that relationship, okay? And communicate your message. So super, super powerful. Work automation, and you can automate some of the workflow, and that's more advanced features that is built into it. And I'll show you some of that. Increased customer retention. Hey, nobody likes to get chargebacks, right? If you can stay in touch with your client, you will increase your customer retention. How many times have you been in the home and you wrote a policy or rewrote a policy, right? And that person that you were dealing with said, well, I just got this policy 30 days ago, 60 days ago, whatever it may be. It wasn't too far, in the past. And they can't remember the agent's name. They can't find that person's business card. And think about it. You're in the home as a life insurance agent. You're doing business at the kitchen table. You leave your business card on the kitchen table. They clear their table for dinner. Your business card is gone, right? It got mixed in with all the junk mail and it's in the trash, right? So other than the policy that they may get, they don't know how they're going to get in touch with you. And maybe they had a question. Maybe they wanted to make a change. Maybe they just weren't sure because you were in the home, you saw a policy, and they've never heard from you again, right? And they're like, man, I've got this thing. I'm paying every month, but this person never stays in touch with me. I don't even know who it is. Don't even remember their name. Don't even remember what company they're with. How many people does that happen to you? It's happened a lot, right? And it's happened to you if you're out there active, right? So anyways, increased customer retention, you are going to be in front of that customer via text, via email, video recording. They're not going to forget about you. And I'm going to teach you some other things that you can do. One of the things that I like to do is a business card that is a refrigerator magnet. So when I leave the home, I'm slapping that right on the refrigerator. It's right there. They're not missing that, right? So anyways, it's all about increasing customer retention. And why is this important to get more referrals, right? So anyways, let me shift gears, and here I've got a lot of screens open. So here is the CRM system. When you come into the Lead Squeezers CRM system, this is kind of what your dashboard is going to look like, right? Here's your pipeline. And with you just getting set up, you're not going to have any data, so it's not going to look like this, but you will have the structure there, right? But the nice thing about it is when you log in, now you can quickly see that, hey, I've got 2 new leads that came in. And oh, by the way, on our pipeline, because we have Zapier integration, any lead sources that you have that are coming in on a Google Sheets, and if your lead vendor is nice enough and they're open to working with, somebody like Lead Squeezers, we can integrate with that and have your leads automatically populated in the CRM system. So they'll show up. You've got 4 appointments booked. So you kind of look at your day, what you got going on. You've got one that needed to reschedule. You got a few in the think about it. And you've got a couple, final expense and mortgage protection apps that you've written, got a couple Medicare, and you've got, 5 deals this past week that you've won, and, they're done and you're getting paid on, right? So it gives you a visual. So for you, you're a business owner. And in order to grow your business, to scale it, you have to know where you're going. You have to be able to look at the metrics, right? The leading indicators and the lagging indicators. So the leading indicators coming up to winning business is that you've got to have some leads coming in, right? Because if you don't have any leads coming in, how are you going to book any appointments? And if you don't have any appointments booked, you're not going to be filling your pipeline with people that are thinking about it or people that you're writing business on. And you're certainly not going to be putting deals down into the one where you're getting paid, right? So it's a funnel. So you need to have at the top of your funnel here, this blue one, you need to have more deals coming in. That's through leads, through referrals, through your networking, however you're doing it now to get more business. Social media is another great way. Many people are not tapping into social media to take advantage of that. And that's something we can help you out with as well. So this is your dashboard here. And if you had it set up and as you're using it regularly, here it gives you the number of leads or contacts you have, 98 in the system, just gives you a nice visual. Then your deal value, you've won $12,000 worth of business in the past week or month, however you want to track it. You have open people that are thinking about it, $9,700 in business. So here's the deal. I'm always puzzled by the number of agents that somebody says, well, hey, Mike, I get it. I need it. But I need to think about it, right? And you've done everything you can. You've pulled out every trick in the book and the life insurance, that you can, but they still want to think about it. Okay, because nobody has 100% close ratio. And even if you did, nobody's keeping 100% of the business on the books. Okay, so they want to think about it. Well, many agents will just move on and they'll never come back and work their think about it. Why is that? I'll tell you, that is bad salesmanship. That is bad salesmanship. Okay, that is really sales 101, is to work that business. You took the time, you invested time in a lead, you invested the time to meet with that person, whether it be on Zoom or in the home, and why not follow up? Why not, right? I don't get it. And I've done a lot of sales coaching over the past 10 years, but I see that happening in life business. So anyway, what I'm saying, there's money sitting right there. Now, are you going to close all your think about it? You probably won't, right? But there is money there, because if we go back and we know that people are not going to make a buying decision for 3 to 4 months. Some people won't make a buying decision until after 5 or 10 touch points. Why is that? Well, it's because they want to trust you. They want to like you. They may like what they see. They may believe in Mutual of Omaha because, they get that. They don't trust you yet, right? And this reality, and you could be the greatest salesperson in the world, but it doesn't mean that you come into a home to a stranger and automatically have 100% credibility and trust. That doesn't exist, right? It takes time, because that person is a human. They have different behavior, different buying, consumer buying behavior statistics, right? So that's why that's important. So anyways, sales, you got your think about it. This gives you your leading indicators. You can kind of see where your business is going so you can manage it. Let's go over here to the stage distributions, and I'm going to show you a pipeline, but this just gives you a nice visual. It's like, okay, my green 1 deals pie, you want this pie to be as big as you possibly can, right? And you want to have your think about it, your apps that you're writing here, and all this good stuff. So it just gives you another visual. Now coming down here to this pie, this is your lead source. I've plugged in a ton of leads. You're not going to have that many lead sources. It would just be overwhelming. But you'll probably have 3 to 5 lead sources that you have, and you'll continue with that. Wouldn't it be nice, as you're writing business and going through the flow here, that you could look here quick and see where most of your business is coming from? whether it's referrals, networking, direct mail lead, final expense, mortgage protection, whatever it may be, certain lead sources that you're using. Wouldn't it be nice to know where most of your business is? Most agents don't know. They're just buying a boatload of leads from many different sources, literally throwing it at the wall and seeing what's going to stick, right? You know, and some of them, they put in massive amounts of activity, and that works because the activity pays off. But wouldn't it be nice to know? Because information is power. And if you have this information, now you can increase your profits because you can focus on those lead sources where you're getting the biggest your buck. You know where to focus your time so you can be effective. So all top, I'm telling you, companies throughout the US that are sales focused use some type of a CRM system. And there's a lot in the opportunity, but I'm telling you, the ones that have it dialed in, the ones that love to scale their business, the ones that understand that, they utilize some type of CRM system. They have to manage it, right? They want their people that they're investing in, that they're paying, to be as effective, to be as productive as they possibly can, to increase their return on investment on their employees and their team, right? You should look at it the same way. I know it's, you know, me, myself, and I, right? You're the chief cook and bottle washer, but at the same time, your time is worth something. You should want to be as productive as you can, get as much as you can, have as much ROI as possible. So anyways, that's a little pipeline. Now, along the ways, you know, I'm kind of giving you some insights here because I think it's important, but I want to switch down here to the deals, this year deals pipeline. And this is all sample data that I've just put in here, all right? But you look at a pipeline, I like a visual. You know, I have a whiteboard also. I like to list things on a whiteboard. So for me, I kind of look at this as, you know, my digital whiteboard. And what I love about it is when I have new candidates or leads, let me go to my pipeline here. And you can have many different pipelines. You can have one for final expense, one for Medicare, one for mortgage protection. And if you're an agent that, you know, does real estate, you could have another one for real estate, right? Whatever. You can there's no limit to the number of pipelines, all with different stages. But a natural stage here, and I'll use this one for life insurance, you have new leads coming into it, right, into the system. Again, whether you're buying leads and you're importing these, or we have connected through Zapier to a Google Sheets or to one of your favorite lead sources where they can automatically be populated. All right, so that can come right in here. Then you start calling these leads. As you're calling these new leads that come in and you book an appointment, you can simply drag them over here. Let's drag Bruce Lee, booked an appointment with him. And now you can take a look and quickly see that, okay, I've got 5 deals sitting in appointments. I got 5 deals so far for this week, or 5 appointments, right? And then you're out in the field, and would you believe it or not, somebody reschedules, right? There's a no-show. And it just happens to be Bruce. You had a great conversation, you tied it down, but you go there, knock on his door, he's not home. And so you can move it over to reschedule. So now you can come back, you can move on doing what you're doing and come back when you get to the office, and you can simply reschedule. And I'm going to show you a really cool trick with automation and some of the campaigns that this will automate the process. So when you drag Bruce over here, he can automatically get a text, get an email, and get a voicemail from you saying, hey, sorry I missed you. You know, please give me a call so we can reschedule, whatever you want it to be, something brief and short like that. As soon as you drag him over here, boom, he would get a text and an email and even a video, and I'll show all that to you. Then you end up meeting with people in the home or on Zoom, however you're conducting business these days, or on the phone. And, you know, you just absolutely killed it. You did a great presentation. And so, you know, Tammy's like, sounds good, Mike, let's do it. And you end up writing up an app so you can move her over here so you can manage it. And let's go ahead and click on Tammy because I wrote a nice IUL on Tammy. I go over here to the deals that we have here and change real quick the value. And you know, a nice little IUL for update that. I'm going to come back to my pipeline here under deals on the left-hand side here. And so now Tammy, $4,800. And now look what it's done here. It's updated some of these totals here. Total open deals, total pipeline value. And the reason these values are important, now on a new lead, you're not going to know what the potential value, but certainly after you meet with someone and you quote them, you are going to know. And I think it's important you come back and plug that number in for the think about it and certainly the applications that you write. That way you can take a look at it, because you're going to look at this think about it a lot different when you know you've got a potential $4,200 in annual premium sitting in the think about it, right? You might follow up a little more if you knew that, if you looked at it that way. So anyways, as you have them here in the FEMP app, or you can just be final expense, whatever this is. Sometimes I call it application submitted, because after you leave a home, two things are going to happen, one or two things. They're either going to think about it or you're going to write up an app. Okay. So they're going in one of these two columns. Now you've got a place, so when you're checking your pending business in the morning, you know what you need to do, right? Some of them you might get an instant approval, but sometimes not, right? That's not always the case. So now you know which ones you can follow up with. You can call the carriers, follow up, see if the app's approved, see if there's anything outstanding, whatever it may be. And you can make any notes right here, right? This one needs an APS. Nobody wants that. It's a attending physician statement, because that's just now going to take, a couple more weeks before the deal gets approved. But you can add notes to Tammy here and work in your deals. See how quickly I went in from deals. Let me go back here so I can show you. Just click on Tammy's name. It takes you into the communication panel for Tammy. We're looking at all things Tammy right now. On the left-hand side, we have all her information here. I can edit her info, her address. And by the way, this little address feature is really cool. You can just start typing in her address. So if it's not a complete address, you can type it and search it, and it'll come up right there and automatically populate it. So you have all that, and you can put in her birth date, all that good stuff, right? Everything's there for Tammy. But in this center section, this is where you're communicating with her. And this is what I love about it. You can create a note, any notes that you want to make about this particular deal, this client, whatever it may be, to help you be on top of your game. You can send Tammy an email. Check this out. This is what I love about it. When you go to send an email, pulls it up right here. It's going to come from your email address, or you can use our system email. It's automatically going to populate your signature. Now, I've got Jackie Stellar because she's a stellar sales agent. But anyways, it'll automatically populate your photo, your contact info, and your company logo right there in the signature. Now you can start typing away to Tammy, whatever note that you want to type to her. Or check this out. This is super cool. Because this system is a CRM system, usually when you're a sales agent, again, it doesn't matter if it's life insurance or financial services, there's regular communication that you're going to communicate to somebody. So you can create templates. We call these quick replies. Maybe Tammy, she wanted an updated quote on mortgage protection. Boom. And I've created some templates already. What this is going to do, this coding that you see right here is system code, and it's going to pull Tammy's first name in. It's a template. Wanted to follow up with you regarding the mortgage protection benefit we discussed for you. Have you given it more thought? So this would be perfect for a think about it. If you wanted to follow up. Now we have email campaigns that are fully automated. This is a quick reply if you wanted to send something as an additional that you could do. And you didn't have to type this from scratch each time. You write it once, it's there. We have some of these templates all ready to go. And then it will automatically populate your signature. Thank you, Felicia. It is amazing. Awesome. And there's no limit to the number of You know, these are some that I've used that I pulled over from Pipedrive that I did a couple years ago. And, you know, for a quote, I was doing quotes, you know, so I've got it right here. Boom, boom, pulls everything in, right? You write it once. Now, what's really cool is with this system, not only can you email, but you can text. It works the exact same way. So if you wanted to send Tammy a little text, and oh, by the way, you can personalize it and you can save it as a template. So if you have those same repeated text messages, you don't have to create from scratch each time. You can just pull up a template. Voicemail. This is a really cool feature. Have you guys ever heard of ringless voicemail? Ringless voicemail is where you record a voicemail. You've gotten one before, I'm sure, from one of the robocallers, but it's where you can record a voicemail and it is automatically sent to somebody's voicemail box without their phone ringing. That's why it's called ringless voicemail. So this can be done as part of an automated campaign, or if you wanted to record a little follow-up audio that you have, so you're not having to leave voicemails all the time, you can start and personalize one right here by clicking start. It's going to record an audio, and that can become part of your template, can be part of your campaign, or it could be a one-off that's personalized to that recipient. And maybe you didn't necessarily want to call them, or maybe you wanted to record something as a reminder to follow up that would say, hey, Mrs. Jones, this is Jackie Stellar. We met a couple days ago. I just wanted to drop you a quick message here to follow up to remember to get me that voided check, whatever it may be, or the beneficiary, right? So you wanted to do it now, but you're busy because you're going to be in the field tomorrow and the next couple days. You don't want to forget to call Tammy. So you record this now, and instead of sending it immediately, you say, you know what? I want to send this on Saturday. You just schedule. I'm going to send this on Saturday morning. Mrs. Jones, Tammy, or whatever her name, she wakes up at 9, so I'll send it at 9:15. And so what's going to happen, and then you hit send voicemail. That is going to drop in her voicemail box at 9:15 on the date that you choose that recording. Now, her phone's not going to ring, but what will happen is she'll get a voicemail notification. And as she is checking her other voicemails, it's going to say, you have 3 new voicemail messages, and you know, you play them, and she's going to hear your voice. Hey, Tammy, this is Jackie Stellar, right? So that is a really cool feature. Then another feature that we also have part of the system is video email. And this is really cool. So if you wanted to record a video that could be an introduction of yourself, could be a follow-up recording, whatever it may be, you could simply hit record. I'm on Zoom right now, so it's not going to open the camera up, but I did create one so I could show it to you guys. Let's go to upload. Let me go to my desktop here and find it. There it is, right there. And you upload this little video, click checkbox. It's uploading it to the lead Squeezer server, and it will send from the server. So you're not having to upload it to Vimeo or YouTube or anywhere else. It's on the lead Squeezer's server. So it's, you know, private. It's not going to be blasted out everywhere, right? It goes directly to that recipient, and that is it. And then it is tied to this contact for Tammy that you sent that video message out. Video uploaded, you are good to go. Then you can type in a little message, you know, have a great weekend, whatever it may be, comes from Jackie Stellar, right? You hit send. When this goes out, and I've already done it, they're going to get an email here. This is what it will look like when they receive it on their end in their Google Mail. Here's the subject line, and you can personalize the subject line. And it'll have your name here, and here's the video. Now, what's interesting and unique about this, notice it's just not a static image. We program this so that we take a little 3-second clip that we replay over and over, so people will know this is a video when they see it, right? And then they simply click play, takes them over to the lead squeezer service. This lead squeezer up here, that would have your logo, not lead squeezers, okay? And then they click play right here. And Friday, I just wanted to share with you. Yep, right there. So they can play it. They get a nice personalized message. And again, this can be a personalized message one-off, or you could record it and it can be part of a campaign if you're trying to do an introduction to a new client, whether it's a final expense, maybe it's mortgage protection, could also be part of a campaign for your think about it. After they thought about it, you could record a nice little video saying, hey, this is Mike. I just, really appreciate you carving out the time for allow me to share the mortgage protection benefit solutions that, we discussed. I know you and the missus wanted to think about it, so I'm just going to stay in touch with you on a regular basis while you're thinking about it. If you have any questions, please give me a call, let me know. And, it's just different. It's nice. It's professional, right? These go a long ways. This type of communication to building the know, like, and trust factor, building credibility. That way, you're going to be there. They're going to be thinking about you when that 3 to 4 months comes, when they're ready to make a buying decision, or when they're in that 5 to 10 touch point, right? Because you've hit them multiple times with this. And here's what's cool. They can send a reply back to you right here. Say, thank you, Mike. Boom. Send a reply back, and then that comes back to you. Everything is right here. Let me go here to my contacts. Let me go to inbox. Actually, I'm going to pull up the inbox right up here on the left-hand side. All your communication comes in right here. 17 seconds ago, that reply comes in right here. Thank you, Mike. Check it out. Here's a little video. Here's your communication panel for all contacts. Everything comes in right here. Okay. Now, if you want to zero in on a particular client, you just click their name, their little initials there, and it takes you directly to their contact info. And you've got it all right here. So the top part is for executing and sending out communication or creating a note. The bottom part here is where this is your history of all communication types: email, text, phone. This allows you to filter by the various communication types. Over here on the right-hand side, the lead owner. If you're working with a team, this is really cool. You can change that lead owner. You can send it to someone else. This is the source of where that lead came from. This is how many deals you have in the pipeline, because you might be writing a mortgage protection policy. You might also be writing an annuity. You might have 2 deals on this person. Any task that might be associated, any appointments. And let's say you wanted to attach a file. Maybe it was a quote that you wanted to attach. This is really cool. Happen to have a little National Life Group brochure here, because maybe you quoted National Life Group and you wanted to attach the illustration. So you're not having to hunt it down in your download box, which is where mine you were usually ending up in. You wouldn't have to hunt it down. You don't have to go through your email over here and search for all the emails that you sent to that client to find that illustration you sent them, right? And you don't want to log into the carrier because their site might be slow. So having it right here when you're communicating with the client, it is right here. So now you simply click that file. It doesn't download it, which is perfect, but it brings it up so you can do a PDF, you can do a JPEG, a PNG, an image type file. Either one, you've got it right here. Everything is there attached to that client. This thing is awesome. Collaborators, if you're working with a team and you want to add collaborators to it to give them access to this, you can certainly do that. And campaigns. Maybe you have them on a client retention campaign, a lead nurturing campaign, whatever it may be. But this is your dashboard. Now, check this out. Tags. Tags are how you can organize your data that gives you control to be able to filter people by certain tags. Maybe as a lead comes in, you've talked to them about annuities, you tag them as annuity. So later down the road, you want to filter everybody out by annuity. You can do that. Now that you filter everyone out by annuity, what is it that you want to do with them? Do you want to create a special annuity campaign because something is happening in the stock market right now. So you want to send them a message, just those people that you've talked to annuities about, right? So you could do that. Do you want to export the data and do a direct mail campaign? Do you want to send them a video email? When you have control of your data and your contacts, and you can quickly and easily filter by certain tags, it gives you control to do things quickly. Otherwise, what was happening, and the reason agents haven't done this, is trying to filter your data. You got a big data list. It's not filtered. It's not tagged. It's not sorted and organized. You don't do it because it becomes a big time investment, right? It takes too much time. This allows you to do it quickly and easily. Custom fields. The system comes with the basic information, address, name, contact, but every industry, there's going to be something different. In life insurance, we got beneficiary name, monthly premium, face amount, right? So you can create as many custom fields as you want. If you have, then you got a favorite hobby, I call it secret word, because it could be a favorite hobby, could be a favorite color, could be a favorite candy, could be a favorite vacation, right? So I have one field where I just kind of group all that together. It's called secret word. You wrote a policy on somebody, maybe you want to put the policy number, maybe you want to put the insurance carrier name in there, right? You can do that. You can do that. So let's see, I got a couple texts coming in here. Monica, do the numbers come with it? Now, when you say numbers, you talking about phone numbers? Is that what you're talking about? If you could clarify for me, please. Yes. Okay. Yes. Let me get to that. The numbers do come with it, phone numbers. So here's your communication panel for your client, right? Let me go through some of the other features, answer Monica's question here. So I love this feature. This thing is awesome. So with the Lead Squeezer CRM system, you get a virtual number. In fact, you can have as many virtual numbers as you want, which is what I recommend, having a couple of them. And here's why. You have your new leads come in, right? And you start dialing. And if you're dialing from the system here, and when you dial this number, it automatically goes to voicemail. If it automatically goes to voicemail, good chances are your number has been blocked and it's just going to voicemail, right? So what if you had a way to dial this number and you were able to choose a different phone number to call them from, one that might not be blocked, right? Isn't that cool? So you could do that. So let's go ahead and do it. This is my number here. So you just hit call. It's called one-click dial. It's calling right here, right? And you can see, I don't know if you can see that, but it's coming up on my phone there. So it's pretty cool. And then you can continue to dial. If you like the 3-dial method, you could do that. If you want to leave a voicemail, you can do that. Whatever you want to do. But you have multiple virtual numbers that you can choose from. Here's the beautiful part. In your communication panel here, you can see, outgoing call. It tracks all your calls, the number of calls that you made, the number of texts that you make as well. So if you're one that's trying to track your activity and data, it tracks everything. In fact, this will automatically record your phone conversation. So if you want to go back, if you're writing an app and you want to be able to record that phone conversation, just for your records to have, you can certainly do that. You can turn the feature off if you don't want to record. So it's just a simple toggle switch. But let me bounce over here to settings. And there's so much I want to share with you. Actually, I'm going to go to reporting. There's so much I want to share with you. So under the reporting demo account, but it will track the new leads you have coming in, the number of calls, that's the call that I made, the emails. And you can do this by today. You can do it by yesterday. You can do it by this week, right? It will tell you. It will tell you, this month. How many calls, how many leads did I get this month or this last week? How many calls did I make? How many emails and text? And I can tell you this, anybody in sales, the more activity you have, the luckier you're going to get, right? So if you're not having any success, go back to the activity. Do you have leads coming in? Because if you don't have leads coming in, you're not going to have any success. But once you have the leads, are you making calls? Those leads aren't going to call themselves, right? How many emails do you have going out? Now, this email is not just emails that you're sending one off manually. This is automated. It's going to track that in the text as well, right? So it gives you the reporting that you need. And again, by day, week, month. So if you're one that really wants to scale your business, take it to the next level, these are tools, solid management tools that you have to give you insight to what you're doing or what you're not doing. If you're working with a team and they're like, you know, I'm just not getting any traction, Mike, and have them using the system, you can say, okay, do me a favor, download your activity tracker, email it to me. I want to check out your activity, because it's awful hard to coach somebody if you don't know what they're doing or what they are doing or what they're not doing, right? But if you can take a look at it and say, well, I can tell you why you're not getting results. It doesn't appear that you've got many leads. It doesn't appear that you've really made too many calls. So, you know, so it's pretty cool that way to help you if you have a team of people. Let's go over to, let's do this. And I'll stay on as long as we can. We got 10 minutes left in the hour. And if you guys, you know, at the top of the hour, whenever you need to bounce off, bounce off. I'll stay on as long as you guys, you know, have questions. There's so much more I want to share with you, but I want to open it up to some other questions that you may have. So if you want to use the chat box, please feel free to do so. While questions are coming in, I'm going to show you a few other features here. I'm going to come, actually, I wanted to go to deals. All right. And when you have the system, one of the things people are, you know, how easy is it to create a pipeline and to get things set up? So there are a couple things that we do, and we are here to help you. So unlike any other CRM system, one of the things we'll do, we will help you set your system up. We will personalize it, tailor it for you. So for example, you see the Lead Squeezers logo up there, right? And if you wanted to have your own logo, come over here to Profile. It's super easy. Go to Company Info, and I'm going through this quickly. Select File, and I'm just going to select, where is it, right here? Little logo I created for the demos. Hit Save, and boom. Now it is saved there. It's kind of branded for your company now, right? You can change the colors if that's something you want to do. Now, when we go to settings, one of the first things we would do is email settings. We would set up your email signature right here, okay? Again, that's under settings, under email settings, and then go to email signature is how you set it up. But we'll set that up for you. This can take time. We can blaze through this quickly because we know what we're doing. As long as we have a photo, your logo, your contact, we'll set it up for you. I don't want you to kind of flounder through this, okay? Look at how nice and professional that looks. And we can do it quickly. Then what we'll do is we'll help you when you register for the system. It's going to prompt you to choose a virtual number. Now, one of the things that I'll show you that I highly recommend that you do when you choose your virtual number, and you can buy additional numbers here, just hit buy. We're going to go ahead and do that because this is part of the setup, and this is a really cool feature. Choose whatever area code you want. It doesn't matter. Any area code that you want. Let's choose a San Diego area code. All right. Search phone number and look at all the phone numbers that you have. Now, this is something that nobody's really going to teach you, but this is really important. See the phone number here? Take this phone number, choose one that you like, and before you set it into place in your system, just Google that number. you want to make sure that this phone number is not associated with any scams or anything that you wouldn't want to be associated with, right? You'll get a few things like this. I'm just not kind of liking some of the things that so I may choose a different number. Let's try this one here. Because people are going to Google you. Not only that, if you have a number that has been used before and likely to come up, it could come up as suspected spam. Now, we can't avoid that altogether because everybody has a different phone system, but we do what we can to minimize. Like that number, when it called my phone from the system, you notice it didn't come up suspected spam. And it's because I tried to find a number that wasn't going to come up. So let's go ahead and search this number here, the new one, see if it's different. Okay, so you can see here 619-329-9835, Beechwood Violet. So this one's kind of been used before, but anyways, you get the message. Go through here, check it. If everything looks good and the only thing coming up is, you know, a people search because they're not finding anything, then that number will be good. Then the other thing that you want to do is each phone number and prefix also is associated with a zip code. Now let's go here, and I recommend if you're not familiar with the zip code, just Google it, right? What is that? San Diego County? All right, that looks like a decent area, I guess, maybe. And here's the point. You want to make sure if you're dialing out, because when you dial out, that phone number comes up, it's going to say the city name and area, right? It'll say San Diego, California, or Newport Beach, or Huntington Beach, whatever it may be that comes up. You want to make sure it's an area that represents you well as a professional, okay? So that's just one little tip. Once you do that, you say add number, boom, click add, and I already have a couple, so I don't need another one. Let me go back, and it will add it to your virtual numbers. Now, while you're here, you can choose which virtual number you want to be the default, okay? And then on the dialer, you can choose, do you want call forwarding? And on the call forwarding, you can say on, and it's gonna forward those virtual numbers to your cell phone. So you'll never miss a call, they'll come in here. Or you can simply turn it off, okay? If you don't want to choose a number, maybe you just have one number, choose this feature where it's called fixed dial, and you select a number, fixed dial. When you do that, let me come back here and I'll show you how that works. Because some people, they don't want to have to do the whole drop down. They want, especially if you're dialing quickly. So now when I go to dial, I just click it. And it automatically starts dialing. It doesn't give me an option. So that's how that feature works. There we go. And that is, recording. So that's how that works. Let's see. Monica's got a question here. How about if we have another business and we like to use the system for that particular? Oh, yes, absolutely, Monica. You could run multiple businesses out of here. Have different phone numbers, one for your real estate business, one for your life insurance business, if that's something that you want to do. Certainly you could do that. That's a beautiful thing about having a CRM system. You can have various templates. I haven't even got into the campaigns yet. So I want to touch on that in just the last few minutes here. This thing is so loaded with features, but once you have everything all set up, you can come over to marketing. Now we have content. We have, depending on what subscription level you come in, we have pre-built campaigns, final expense mortgage protection. We have campaigns that we're in development right now for the public employee service market that'll be available. So these campaigns are available to you. So you don't have to write content, but check this out. When you come into campaign templates and you're just getting started, and we have a bunch of free campaigns, come over here to categories, and we're putting these into categories. Life insurance, final expense, mortgage protection, public employee, general life, holiday and seasonal emails, right? Insurance general. We also have Spanish content for final expense and mortgage protection, birthday, anniversary, and we've got some other stuff here. Let's click mortgage. These are real simple little campaigns, a little 5-day. Here's a little past client check-in, 270-day campaign. But let's do this. I don't want to go there yet. Let me go back to the other templates. Let's choose final expense. And here we have a lead nurturing campaign. And I'm going to show you this here. But what you would do, how you load all these campaigns, literally 50 to 100, 200, depending on how many campaign emails, how you would load it, or we would load it for you. You simply hit create campaign. And that is it. And it drops it into the system. Boom, takes you right there. Okay. Now let me come out here because I have already loaded this campaign. And it is right here. Final expense is the name of it. You can see I got mortgage protection, Facebook appointment booking. I got to think about it. Let's go to the final expense. Now on the final expense campaign, this is, check this out. This is for a lead campaign, like a lead nurturing campaign, right? We have already programmed all the emails and text in here going out multiple days. So you want to put somebody truly on a drip campaign, stay in front of them, keeping your name, your photo, all your information. This is, look at this. And you didn't have to create that. This is why people don't use Mailchimp, Aweber, or a CRM system. It's the creation of the content. It takes time. And most likely you are not a professional writer. All this content I have written and I've sent to a copywriter to clean it up to make sure it all looks professional and, and good and sounds grammatically correct, right? But check this out here, this first email. And by the way, it will tell you how many in queue, how many were delivered, how many failed or bounced back, how many were sent, and your response rate. You get to see all this so you know how well your efforts are performing. Let's go into edit. So it's a template. It's already loaded, but you can change it. If you didn't like the way we worded something, you wanted to add a little something extra, you certainly could. But look how we've programmed it with the first name. So that's going to automatically populate that contact's first name. Same in the subject line. I always use the first name of the contact in all my emails because it is proven that when they see their first name in their email box in a subject line, they're more likely to open it. Okay. Now, this is a final expense. We've also plugged in here the secret words. So if you're buying Facebook leads that come with a favorite hobby, color, whatever it may be, it'll automatically be populated. You don't have to do anything. It's there. It'll pull it right in. And then it will drop your nice signature below. Okay. And again, you can change everything. So then you get to choose when you want this to go out. When I have a lead come in, this one will go out immediately. I tried to reach you by phone. Or you could say, hey, I want to send this 2 days later, whenever. You choose the day. You can easily change it right there or later that same day. So pretty cool there. This just gives you a little preview of the email. So you can change the content and you didn't have to write a thing, okay? Now on this particular one, this is a lead nurturing for a new lead. I also have programmed to send a text message, right? And again, same customization here. It's easier to look at it here. Hi, first name. This is Mike here. I'm the licensed underwriter assigned to your request. Call me so I can get you the information you requested. Okay. You didn't have to send this. Again, you're busy trying to dial them, get a hold of them. All this is taking place. And if you like it to go out immediately day one, you can. If you want to change the timing and have to go out a couple days later, you can. Day two, I got another email going out. What does this one say? Tried reaching you several times about requests for more information on the state regulated final expense benefit that would cover up to 100% of your funeral and burial, blah, 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 right? So you're giving them more information. If you can't get a hold of a lead, you're not going to have a chance of booking an appointment and you're not going to sell anything. So the name of the game is not just calling, right? It's engaging all the communication tools that you have access to reach that person. That's how you increase your sales by 300%, increase your profitability, increase your ROI on your leads. So pretty darn cool. I mean, I could show you a ton of these. And another text. And the beautiful thing is you can add it. If you don't think we are aggressive enough on it, hey, add more emails, add more text. But I can tell you, if you've ever received automated emails from anyone, and you probably have, that if you're too aggressive early on, what are people going to do? Unsubscribe. And if they unsubscribe, your message isn't getting out there. I get those from other marketing people. If they're too aggressive out of the gate, sending me stuff, it's like, all right, dude, back off, right? You're getting in my face with all your emails. So we have intentionally, by design, you can see, just kind of gentle, remind them, being professional about it, but you have the ability to change that frequency. We go all the way out, 365 days, okay? Now, same with the client retention campaign. You sold somebody, now you want to stay in touch with them. And our client retention campaign is awesome because the first email that goes out is thanking them for trusting you for your business. And you can change that. But it's also designed to do three things. Reinforce that what they did by putting that policy into place was a good decision. The other is we want to remind them to make the monthly payment so their policy can remain in force and you don't get a chargeback. And then the third is point of the first email is encouraging them to refer you business. We have suggested life events saying, hey, you know, who do you know that needs to be protected like you have protected yourself and your family if any of these events, you know, somebody that was newly married, had a baby, divorced, bought a home, whatever it may be, right? The beautiful thing when it's in an email and it's professionally designed like that, has your nice signature, you're making it easy for them to forward that email on. And we actually suggest that in this particular email on the client retention, okay? Most agents don't make it easy for people to refer them business and they wonder why they don't get referrals. Make it easy for people. They're busy too, right? So if you are texting, you're emailing, you're leaving business cards, and by the way, you're sending nice little note cards, which, hey, I'm in the digital world, but I'll tell you, this is money right here, and it doesn't cost a lot of money. You can send a note card out for less than $1, all right, with a couple business cards and something else. Who sends a note card? But if it's handwritten, it is 90% chance they are going to open it if it is hand personalized, right, or addressed. That is money. You want to stay in touch with them. So anyways, we have a ton of campaigns. Now, lead generation or lead nurturing for leads, rekindle some old leads that you have. You're probably thinking of that already. Staying in touch of your think about it's. The reason agents don't stay in touch with their think about it's, they're busy trying to get new appointments and finding the low-hanging fruit and, you know, out there in the home, turning and burning. But what if you can put those think about it's on a nice little email campaign to stay in front of them with, you know, email, text, video, and just staying in touch. They're going to think, man, here you go, because no other agent is staying in touch with those think about it's. They're going to say, you know what, Jackie Stellar, she was the only one that, you know, stayed in touch with us, that sent us emails. And then when they're ready, who are they going to call? They're going to call you, right? Because you stayed in touch with them. When I started Lead Squeezers, I had an email campaign a few years ago, and all the Facebook leads that I was generating, I got tired of people, believe it or not, hanging up on me saying they didn't request the info. So I started just popping all those people into my email campaign. One of my first clients that I got from him was about 45 days after I'd started the campaign, maybe even 60 days. And she called me and she said, Mike, you're the only guy out of all the agents that call me that actually sent me an email. You know, believe it or not, some people don't want to be called, right? We all have different consumer behaviors, things that we like. Some people like to get calls. Some people prefer to get emails. Some people don't want to just be hammered by all the phone calls. So what if you can be different? Don't stop doing what you're doing, but add email campaign, texting to build the know, like, and trust factor. You're going to reach people that other agents wouldn't reach because you're using a different communication method, right? Professional emails. They're getting to know you. You're investing the time to build the know, like, and trust factor. You're building credibility. And that's what happened with Tony. And she called me. I was able to sell her a policy. Nobody else was, because they couldn't get a hold of her. They couldn't get appointments. She hung up on everybody. She hung up on me 3 times, but I ended up writing her a policy, $4,600 final expense annual premium, right? To date, I went back a couple weeks ago and I looked at, and I ended up writing another policy for her in May, but I also went back to the referrals that she gave me. And I've written, just from that lead, over 12 grand in annual premium in the past 2 years. All because I followed up with email. What if I hadn't done that? I would have been like all the other agents, just trying to get a hold of her, dialing 3 times, right? Hanging up, dialing in, multiple times a week, just like everybody else does. And what do? They end up blocking your number, right? So, hey, we're in 2021. It's time to engage these other tools, right? A lot of that stuff is old school. Still use it, still do it. I'm not saying stop that. I'm saying embrace some of these other tools that are available so you can increase your sales by 300%. It's a different game and you'll be ahead of it and you're going to win more. So anyways, we got all kinds of email campaigns, and then there's triggers. Let me go back here. The beautiful thing, once the campaign is set up and we get the triggers for you on your campaign, you take Barbara Walters from Think About It and you end up writing an app and you move her over here. That right there will trigger the client retention campaign. An email will go out. You don't have to do anything. An email will go out as soon as you drag her from one column over to the next. It will trigger that campaign and it will stop the Think About It campaign. You haven't had to go into Mailchimp or Aweber or Constant Contact and move. No, you just drag and drop. Now, what I don't recommend, it'll stop a campaign. So as you're dragging her, if you drag her, it'll stop that campaign and start another one. This, when we design it, which is why typically we'll design it to go out later that day or the next day, because what if you say, hey, I want to start it and it triggers an email immediately and then you want to move it back. So we've got all that figured out in timing of how we do that. So you don't have to worry about that. Let's see, what other questions? Can you do an email and text campaign at the same time? Absolutely, Ron, absolutely. You could do an email, you could do a text, you could do a voice recording. Absolutely, you could do that. Let's see. If we have an autoresponder, it can also be integrated because you have a Zapier. Yes. This thing, we've got Zapier, but Zapier we can use to get the leads into the system, Monica. As far as the autoresponders, those are some of the advanced features that we have. The quick replies, you can have a form in the campaign, but triggers is what we can use. We can create triggers and add a basic rule. Let's just say test, create a rule. And when somebody responds, select the trigger item. So what's going to trigger this? If somebody was added to a campaign or if a contact replied, all right, what did they reply with in a campaign? Reply to a keyword. If they reply to a keyword, right, it can trigger another reply. You can add an action over here. Do you want to send a text message? If they replied to a certain phrase or a keyword, right, you could certainly do that. So these are the advanced settings. And if anybody is ever interested in doing that, we will help you set that up. This is part of the reason that some people don't fully engage all the features of a CRM system, is because it takes a little time and knowledge. We understand how to make all this work. So to make it easy for you, when we get into that, this is where, you know, we can really dial the system in for you. So yes, you can have an automatic trigger and reply or autoresponder, and you don't need a Zapier to do that part of it. Let's see, what else can I show you? You got the calendar feature, you know, plugged in, which will send you reminders and notifications. Let me take a look at my notes. Any other questions coming in? Custom fields and tags. I already talked about that. Talked about the pipeline. You can have as many pipelines as you want. You know, again, if you're running different businesses, or if you want to keep your final expense separate from your mortgage protection, or I have one agent, she wanted to have one just for annuity business. So that way she can manage that follow up, because annuities, you know, a little longer sales cycle and, you know, getting the paperwork in. So she wanted to be highly focused on this. Felicia, it does not integrate yet with Calendly. Actually, we are advancing the features of our calendar and our calendar widget. It's not as good as Calendly. Calendly is awesome, okay? But once we have finished with this, because there's some enhancements that are coming, it'll work pretty good. But we're modeling this after Calendly, okay? So that is our goal. And so you won't need Calendly, but I use Calendly. I love Calendly. It's a great tool. So we're getting there. And that way you won't have to have a Calendly integration. My goal with this is that you don't have to have all these other third-party apps and integrations and tools that you're having to use and manage and subscribe to. Everything is all in one place, so you can be more productive, okay? That's a great question. Yes, so if you want to add a Zap for it, you can go to the campaigns, right? Let's go to campaign template. And I actually have a Zap set up on one. Let's do final expense, come to edit. And you would connect with Zap. Let's start the campaign. Oh, here. You got to select a campaign phone number, okay? Because I've got texting built in. So, okay. So on your setup here, this is the campaign start right here. This is the campaign setting. Everything's going to come from this email address, or you can choose, if you use the system one, it would say lead squeezers or your name at mail.yourreply. You can choose a phone number for texting. You can do that. But this is where you would connect the Zapier right here. All right. And there's some other features. It's really easy to add contacts to the campaign, but connect to Zapier. We already have, this is where you collect, basically click lead squeezers, accept an invite, and now you're going to connect to Zapier over here, okay? And then you can, and I won't go into the details of how to make a Zap. For those of you that know how to make a Zap, you know how to work it, but the connection is there with lead squeezers, which is really cool. So the, let me come back here. The for those of you that use Zap, and those of you that don't know what Zapier is, it's a tool that allows you to bridge importing data and actions from one program to another. So we're using it for Facebook leads or a Google Sheets lead, where I have one here called Round Robin. It's coming in, leads are coming in from a Google Sheet, and then they're automatically being imported into my Lead Squeezers CRM system, okay? And it works awesome. That way you're not having to download what some people do, and what I used to do long ago, download from Facebook your leads, then go to your CRM system and upload, right? You don't have to, it eliminates that step, saves time. And here's the beautiful thing. It's all automatic, right? It happens within just a few minutes. And then if you have a campaign set up, as soon as that lead comes in, if you choose, it can trigger an activity for you to text, say, hey, you got a new lead in your lead squeezer system. You could get a text, you could get an email. While all that's happening, it can send the prospect an email and a text and a video, whatever you want it to send, right? And we'll program it that. But that's the other beautiful thing on the campaigns. Let me go back here. And our client retention campaign, we have built it in. I don't know if I have that one loaded up in here. I do not. Oh, here's client retention. Here we go. This is kind of cool that I want to show you. Set an activity. So this campaign, this is a client retention campaign for mortgage protection. So instead of an email, see where it says send email right here? Set an activity. The activity that I program, because I'm big on thank you cards, send a thank you card. So it's going to set an activity on your calendar when you add that person to the campaign by dragging and dropping from the think about it stage over to you sold a policy, application submitted. And it's going to add this as an activity to your calendar, remind you, send out a thank you card. This is huge. If you're not doing that, do it. It is absolutely huge. Drop a couple business cards in there. Then on day 2, it's going to send out a nice email. This is that email I was telling you about. The purpose of this is 3 things. The mortgage protection coverage you selected with Mutual of Omaha or whoever you wrote it with, because you're going to enter that information into their contact, who you wrote it with. National Life Group, Mutual of Omaha, Foresters, doesn't matter. It'll automatically drop in the carrier's name. Was a smart choice and with a top-rated company, right? Couple of important things to note. The monthly premium will not increase and your policy is guaranteed as long as you make the monthly premiums. So it's very important to make your monthly payment so your policy does not lapse, right? I'm passionate about about protecting families. If you know of a friend or a family member that has experienced one of the life events below, please make sure they are protected like you. You can simply email me back by replying to this email with their name and phone number, and I will reach out to them. Or you can give them my contact info by forwarding this email to them with a personal message to contact me. And here's, a couple ideas to give them. We're making it easy for somebody, okay? Yeah, Burner, we'll talk about the thank you cards. I see that. But what do you guys think of this? This thing's awesome. Plugs in your signature. You haven't had to do anything. You just simply, the way this campaign goes out, over here on deals, you dragged Barbara over to application submitted, and it triggers that campaign just like that. That is it. That is easy, drag and drop, okay? Anyways, check this out. And again, I'll stay on as long as you guys, and any questions you have. I love this stuff, and this is important to me, and it's important that you guys know the value in a CRM system. We're going to be doing these calls every week where it'll be an open call if you guys have any questions, because I want to make sure that you guys know how to use the system. If you know how to use it and you're not intimidated by it, you're going to use it. You're going to get more out of it, right? You're going to increase your sales. You're going to feel better about it. You're going to feel organized. But check this out. Now, client retention campaign. What happens around 30 days? All right. Yeah, new client retention. At about the 30-day mark, right? Well, at about the 30-day mark, let's see if I can find it here. If I plugged it into this one. Here it is. I was playing around with it. I changed the date. So, and that's a beautiful thing. You can change the date. But here's what happens. When you write a policy and it is sent out, One of the things that some carriers are real sticklers on is getting back the policy receipt acknowledgement form that needs to be signed and returned. If it is not returned, because this has happened to me, then the policy will cancel and elapse, and then you're going to get a charge back. So this email is designed that at about the 30 days, about where I like it, 35 days, to go out to the client along with the text message, because we don't know if that person prefers email or text. So I do both. That's going to send them a message and a reminder to send that one. You want to make sure they get the policy, but a reminder to send the policy receipt acknowledgement form back. So pretty cool. Now, also what it does, that around that same time frame, let me come back here because I had one. I probably moved it around. So let's just do this. I'm going to set up a new one. So I had an activity here before. Let's go ahead and add an activity. This is how easy it is, okay? I want to add an activity at about the 30-day mark, and it's going to be a call that I want to, you know, and these icons will just allow you to filter it. Follow up to make, if I can type, sure policy was received, right? That's it. And I'm going to schedule this for, let's say 35 days out. It's not going to take me 2 hours, just a 15-minute set activity. So now what that is going to do, here's the activity that was set. That's going to add it to my reminders, my task over here. So let me come over here to my dashboard, and I'm going to show you where all this is. On your dashboard, you have on the right-hand side. So every day when you open this up, you have your indicators, your funnel, kind of get a visual of where you're at. Here's your activities. It's going to show up here. You've got your inbox. So future activities. Here's my past activities, and it'll show up right here. And it'll say, here's one, follow up on pending policy, right? It'll say follow up to make sure policy was received, whatever you put in there. So it'll show up right there. You're not going to miss it. All right. And you will get also, you will get a an email notification that will be emailed to you, so you can't miss it. Because making sure somebody returns that policy receipt or making sure they get their policy is key to keeping the business on the books. All right, let's see. We got another question from Ada. Okay, if I get the direct mail mortgage protection leads weekly, what is the best way to upload those? I just get them sent to me with a PDF with a copy of their info on the card. They don't have emails on them. What I need to manually put them. So question for you, Ada. Does the lead company that you're buying those from, do they provide you, in addition to the lead card, a list for that week, like an Excel spreadsheet or a Google sheet? If they have the Google sheet, then that would be easy. Not sure. Okay. But if they did have a Google sheet, we could easily import that and set it up where there could be some automatic triggers depending on the vendor. Worst case scenario, yes, you would have to enter that information in manually. What I'd recommend when you do that is, and maybe you could have a virtual assistant do that, but when you enter them into the system, let me go up here to the plus sign where you can hit new contact or new deal, right? What I would recommend after they enter it, take that lead card that is a PDF. Let me go to Don Johnson here. And I would add that lead card right here to the file, okay? That way you have it. So as you're dialing out and somebody says, no, Ada, I never filled that out. Well, if it's right there, let me just grab a PDF and on there and you have your assistant do it, for example, your VA, it's right there. You can say, interesting. Let me pull it up here. And while I'm looking at this, Mr. Jones, I see here, I'll tell you what, let me text this to you. You can take a picture of it or you can text it to them, right? Say, is this your signature? Just want to make sure, because I've done that before when somebody was adamant. And I said, well, I'm looking at, is this your cell phone? I took a picture of the lead card and I would text it to them. But that's what I would do. So worst case scenario, yes, you would have to enter it manually. The beautiful thing is, until we had the CRM system, previously you had to have emails in order for an automated email campaign to go out. But I know with direct mails, you don't have that. So what you can do is you can set it up with a text campaign. Okay, you can have a series of text, no emails. What I teach my agents, and I know Joseph Hull is on the call, and because he does this now, when you are calling your prospects, get really good at asking for their email address. Okay, that way you can pop them into your CRM system, and now you can start an email campaign. All right, it's another communication. So get the email address as you're booking your appointments. Ask for it when you're booking appointments. You're talking to them, and if they said, "Hey, I don't have time to talk right now," great. Let me follow up with what's your email address real quick. And I think Joseph has gotten really good at that. So let's see. Any other questions here? Many of you are on the system. Some of you are checking it out. Either way is fine. But hey, I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. There's a lot more whistles and bells in this thing. I could talk all day about all the features and showing you how. But I wanted to show you the power of it. But hopefully, the other thing is I don't want you to be intimidated by a CRM system. The challenging thing for most people is getting their data. Okay, let me pull up here real quick. I see all kinds of spreadsheets. Let me just pull up a sample spreadsheet here of one. Okay, so I got Microsoft. I mean, I don't have a lot of contacts. This is just sample contacts here, okay? So your Facebook leads that come in, they may look something like this with the favorite, candy or color, the name, date of birth, address, something of this nature, right? Here's the email. You've got all that. This is nice and clean, but sometimes it comes in, it's not clean. We've had data where, the candy, you'll have part this and then candy in the name column or birthday in the address column, whatever. And that's because somebody's taken and copied and pasted from multiple sheets into one. Okay. So my point is, don't let this intimidate you. We know how to manipulate and clean data up and get it into the system. The thing is, you've probably heard the term garbage in, garbage out. The most important thing to any CRM system, this is any, even if it's a free system, that if you think you're going to go with the free route, make sure your data is good and clean, because when it's in there, now the system will work properly. Your date of birth, right? The zip code, if you're going to do any mailing, or if you're going to use Road Warrior, you want to have zip code, right? Your phone number, your email, just make sure it's clean. But we usually get it, it's not that clean looking. One thing I forgot to share with you guys that is super, super cool. Let me pull up here. And again, you have access to this under marketing. Let me go to campaign templates. Birthday. Anybody send out a birthday message anymore? Well, we do. Let's go to birthday anniversary. Here's a happy birthday. You just go create campaign. It's going to add it to your campaign. Boom, ready to go. All right. We've already created the message for you with a nice little image. And let's do a little preview here. So this will go out. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, first name. So happy birthday, Ada. Sending you smiles for every moment of your special day. Have a very happy birthday. Best wishes. And it's going to pull your signature in. You didn't have to create it. All you have to do is make sure when you upload those contacts, they have a birthday, right? And when they do, this is triggered, select greeting. It's going to go out on the birthday at 11:30 a.m. They're going to automatically get it. It's a no-brainer. You did nothing. You did absolutely nothing other than, just putting your information in. All right. So pretty darn cool. Let's see. Any other questions? Let me pull up the chat box here. See if there's anything else coming in. Come on, chat box. Where are you? There it is. Okay. Let's see. Thank you, Mike Brenhaug. Yep. Monica, does it have automatic sign-in documents like a DocuSign? It does not. It does not. You know, that gets a little trickier maybe down the road, but it does not have like a built-in DocuSign or anything like that at the moment. Patrick, does the system tell us if our email was opened? It does. It does. So we don't have any contacts on this, so I don't know if this window is going to open. But what it would tell us here, if we had a contact here, Patrick, with this particular campaign, it would tell you the number, the email, the owner contacted, if they unsubscribed, if they responded, it would tell you right there. It would tell you which campaigns they're on and which active campaigns, the source where they came from, their tag, if their final expense, mortgage protection, and what stage if they happen to be in a pipeline. And there is others. And you can customize these columns by selecting which columns are going to be visible here. But yes, Patrick, it would tell us if the email was responded or open. It doesn't tell you how many times it was open. I know Aweber, Mailchimp, some of those other email message programs will tell you. This does not, just says that it was opened. Let's see, got another new message from Mike Brenhaug. So on the birthday, do you have to add the contact to the campaign? Yes, you do. So great question. So Mike, to do that under contacts, there's two ways to do it. You can say, I'm going to select all my contacts right here, just like I did. Just select, and I'm going to come over here to the top bar. See these icons? Add people to a campaign. And obviously you want people, well, I didn't name my campaign birthday. Let me go do that real quick so you can see the full effect of it. Let's go to campaigns. And let's see. I think it was this one. Okay, this is the birthday one. So I'm going to name this here birthday email. And you can add a text here, by the way, too. So if you wanted to send a text on their birthday, you could do that. We'll personalize it, hit the personalize, first name. So it'll pop in the first name, hit a little comment, say, or actually you could do this. Happy birthday, whatever their name is. Make it a special day or a great day, a great day. And then it'll put your name in there. You could type your name in, or if you want to pull it from your signature or my name, something like that, you could do that. And then, and you could send it then. And boom, I have to go to greetings, and you want it to be triggered on the birthday. And we had the other one going out at 11:30. Do you want to hit them both? Do you want this one to go out a little later? Whatever you want to do, hit set follow up. Boom. So now what's going to happen, an email is going to go out at 11:30. They're going to get a text message at 11:45, or you can send them both at the exact same time. Totally up to you. But let's go ahead and birthday campaign. We got to start the campaign. So I got to choose a number. What phone number do I want to send it from? Okay. Now I go to start campaign. Okay. Now, a couple ways you can add. You can upload contacts to add them to this campaign. If you haven't uploaded the contacts, you can choose the contacts that you want to add. Or what I like to do is let's just come over here to all my contacts, and I'm going to select these ones here. Actually, let me select Looks like I have 92 contacts in here. All right, see you, Mike. Have a good one. Let's see. So I'm going to select all these guys. And then come over here to add people in campaign. There's the birthday email. Go boom, hit next, and hit start. 92 contacts are going to be added to birthday email. Hit start. And it's running. Okay, and then I'm going to hit close. Tells you down here at the bottom. I don't know if you guys can see it, adding contact to campaign. All right, so now when I go into this contact, you can see contact added. When I go into this contact, and their detail on the right-hand side, see where it says campaigns over here on the right? Birthday email, they're on the birthday email campaign and it's running. If I want to pause it, I can hit pause, or I can unsubscribe them from this particular campaign, and you can have multiple campaigns, okay? That's how easy that is to do. So you can create your own campaigns. The beautiful thing is we have a ton of content that allows you to import. Now, Sean, I don't know if you're still on the call. You are. I missed your chat here, so let me come back here. You were asking about what is the monthly fee. So great question. There are two parts to Lead Squeezers, okay? We started off, and we still are, a marketing agency where we provide email and social media content. So anyways, I'm gonna let you guys go. I hope you have an awesome Friday and a great weekend, okay? Take care, have a good one, and thank you again for your time. I appreciate it.